their behalf because some of the stories that they told me made me feel really like, wow, I can't even believe some of the stuff they told me. Although none of those stories are in my book, it's just the fact that I just kind of want to represent them. And I sold the book. I'm a detective. It's a work of fiction, and the characters involved in this always HIV. What I like most about the book is that the characters are just like everybody, everyday people that you come across. These people represent your mothers, your fathers, your grandfather, the teachers, the mailman, the bus driver. This is anybody that you can run into, okay? The characters are from 12 to 62, so it's a big range of what's going on, and it's very educational. I've had people buy the book. After they read it, they passed it to their whole family. They was like, listen, my son is reading it, my daughter's reading it. And what I like most and what I've been hearing is, and I tell people, when you pick up this book, make sure you have time to read because you are not going to put it down. And I also tell them, make sure you don't leave it out. Because if you put the book down and somebody else picks it up, you're not going to see your book again. I've had several people come to me and say, Sean, you know what, I got to buy another book. Why? Well, because I left my book out and my sister came over and she took it and she won't get it back. She told me she gave it to somebody else and so she never got it back. So I've had people have to come and buy actually another copy because they did what I told them not to do. Don't leave it out until you finish reading it yourself. Because if someone else picks it up, you're never going to see your book again. So, so basically that's what Undetected is. It's really educational, and it's just basically just tells the different stories of different characters who have been exposed to HIV, and basically what do they do about the circumstances they're in, whether it's positive or negative. Each person is going to react differently. Some people might just say, okay, well, I have this, but you know what, I'm going to just do what I need to do to take care of myself and take care of myself. Other people might be like, well, you know what, I got it. I'm upset, I'm angry, and then they might lash out and do some negative things, meaning they might go out and spread it. So it depends on the individual. It also depends on the support that you have, because if you have people who support you, then it's going to be a lot easier to come out and say, listen, I have HIV. And one of the problems with HIV is that people are afraid to tell people their status. Unfortunately, you would think that at this time and age that when you mention the word HIV, people wouldn't be so scared of it. The way I see it, HIV is just like any other disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. You just have to sit there and take care of yourself and maintain. People who have HIV are living long lives. Actually, they're probably dying off before due to something else opposed to HIV. I would like to read one chapter of it, just to give you one of the scenarios. I think we'll pick a really good one. Here we go. She's kind of like my favorite. Well, not my favorite, but a lot of people's favorite. They like this particular character. This chapter is called Revenge. Coco was high again. She couldn't face the news or believe the results of her last lab test results. Coco had visited a clinic on 8th Street 2 weeks ago because she was losing weight, losing her appetite, and had a cold that wouldn't go away. The doctor had asked Coco several health questions, including if Coco was sexually active and if she was using protection. Coco admitted that she never used a condom or practiced safe sex. The doctor questioned Coco to see if she had ever taken an HIV test. Coco never thought she needed to take one. Besides, Coco thought to herself, only gay men catch the virus. The doctor convinced Coco to take the test, the HIV test, along with lab work to see if she had any other sexually transmitted diseases. 2 weeks later, Coco returned to the clinic. When she received the news, she was HIV positive. The doctor gave Coco some medication and told her to see the nurse who handed Coco a bunch of literature and pamphlets on HIV. Coco left the office feeling confused and in denial. If she wasn't feeling well, she would have gone undetected and continued to have sex with men to supply her drug habit. Why me? Coco screamed. Although she knew that she didn't have anyone to blame but herself, she felt she had to go get back at the world. Coco was angry and she wanted to hurt others. I would do the same damn thing that someone did to me. I won't tell anyone that I'm HIV positive either. Coco tried to convince herself that her logic was justified. I'm going to take as many people down as I can. No one cared about me, so I don't care either. Coco started to feel a high coming down. Okay, she thought to herself, who's going to be my first victim? And I'll leave it at that. So, I mean, and that's just not even a whole chapter, okay? That was just a little scenario of what's going on in the book. And as I said, some people take it better than others. I mean, and it's just basically, the book is just an easy read. Everybody loves it. I mean, everybody, to this point right now, people are harassing me to get the second book out. I didn't think it was going to be a second book. I only planned on writing the first one. And basically what, it's interesting because I really never wanted to write a book. I had no interest in writing a book. But one day I just was saying, you know, I had lost my mom and my grandmother, and I said, you know, I wanted to do something to honor their memory. And I was thinking of all the things that I could do, and then something just said, hey, you write a book, even when you're gone, it'll still last, and your family members could have something.
Ways I could sufferize the mightiest of tides. With each skip, my insecurities. With each skip, my nightmares would subside. With each skip, nigga died. Skip one untied the noose from around that black man, that black slave's neck, and place a name on the unmarked grave, free man, free woman. Skip two, erase the ignorance that is slavery. And notice I did not say was, because some of us are still slaves, niggas by any other name. Skip 3 and 4 is the greed that sent many black like me to the grave. A generation of gloom fills this old smoking room. Skip 5 is the evil that lives within you and I. An evil that surely must die. Skip 6 is racism, rapes, and riots. Race exploitation coded by today's Republican rule. Our own children don't represent us. With their sagging and bagging pants, they look more like the featured actor Greenland Brothers and Bottom Belly circus. Are you wrong or are you right? Are you peace or are you fight? Are you black or are you white? Let that last letter all be followed by an exclamation mark. You see that black rock, that noose around my neck so tight it wouldn't allow the blood to flow in my brain, allowing you to call me nigga by any other name? That nigga lie must die. And it starts with I. So I let nigga go. And I let God. Now that black rock title nigga is who I used to be. Nigga is a rock I threw into the sea. I'm the author of the Nigga Chronicles, the mispronunciation of who I am. Now many people ask me, they say, William, why do you use that word, nigga, in your book? Why would you write a book about nigga? And I explain to them that I don't claim the word to name the title of the slur nigga. I explain the word to name the title of the slur nigga. For you see, I grew up in Spanish Harlem most of my adult life. And from the age of 10, I faced difficulties. I was an epileptic, insecurity, broken home, no father. So basically I grew up in a negative fashion. I was that nigga because I had to steal to survive. I had to lie to get fit in. I had to do things I wasn't comfortable with. I even raised my hand to a woman. I led the life of a nigga. I was a nigga. But something strange happened. I've been married for, my first marriage was 12 years. And I was that player. I messed up. And I could live with that because I messed up. My second marriage, I was a good man. I got rid of all those niggeristic tendencies, only to receive the same fate that I gave my first wife. My wife cheated on me. And I faced a time when I didn't know if I wanted to live or die. I sat in a park, I'll never forget this, on 103rd Street and 2nd Avenue. I was watching my kids play. And I just asked God for more time. I was thinking, what am I going to do with my life? I wanted to kill her or myself. Either one was going to happen. I had a suicide pill in my hand. Matter of fact, before I get into the book, let me just tell you this. As I sat on that park bench on 103rd Street and 2nd Avenue, watching the kids play with a suicide pill in my hand, I asked God for a little more time. And when I opened my eyes, I saw that I was walking out that park still alive. I looked down at my watch and saw that 2 minutes had elapsed. It was 2 minutes that God gave me that saved my life. Do you know in 2 minutes I could stop a nosebleed? In 2 minutes I could tell you my life's history. Within the first 2 minutes of conversation, I could make a woman fall in love with me. But because of premature ejaculation, you see, in 2 minutes I came and she's in the kitchen making me a ham sandwich with American cheese. In 2 minutes I could recite the alphabet frontwards and backwards starting at G. H-I-J-K-L-M-N-O-P-Q-I-C-U-V-W-H-Y-Z. Z-Y, blah, 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 and G, you see? Give a dying man 2 minutes to tell his family, don't cry for me. Give a dying man 2 minutes to relive his life history. Give a gambler 2 minutes to change his luck. To change his bet from 7 black to let it ride on 11 red. Give a murderer 2 minutes and someone may be alive and not dead. If Trayvon Martin had 2 minutes, he'd be alive today, eating Skittles and enjoying another day to run into play. But Trayvon didn't get 2 minutes, and now rest in peace, he's dead. If Mike Tyson had 2 minutes, he wouldn't have that big ass tattoo on the side of his head. Give me 2 minutes to say I'm sorry. Give me 2 minutes to say I miss you. Give me 2 minutes to say I love you. Give me 2 minutes to believe, 2 minutes to achieve. Give me 2 minutes to perform an NFL football 2-minute drill. Give me 2 minutes to swallow this suicide pill. My time is up. So whatever I can do or say, I will do or say never more unless my God, please, Father God, give me 2 minutes. Now that my God has given me 2 minutes to think my life over, to laugh, to cry, because he's given me 2 minutes, I'm here. And Sister's Uptown Bookstore, I'm alive. Thank you, Father, for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And from that day, I decided to do something in my life. I said, it's not too late. It is not too late. I was maybe 48, 49. I got time. My kids were young. I said, I'm going to be that man, that strong and cool. Yeah, I didn't leave the house home. Even though she did me wrong and all that, I wanted to do this, I decided to stay. I'm going to be honest with you now. I didn't forgive. None of the Bible says we should forgive. I didn't. But I learned to forget. And eventually things worked out. And I still had the kids. And I was able to show them what it was to be a man. What it was to leave a certain element of your life and make better. And that's what I'm doing here today. I'm making better. And by me explaining that word, that name, that title, that story to the kids, to the young, to the old, I'm making better. Because some kid is going to read that book and say, yeah, you know, if this man can turn his life around, I can do it. If this man could be in the streets, never smoked, never drank, never got high. Even though I was in the midst of all the negativity, there was something in me that was strong enough to survive. And that is what I'm trying to emulate and give to these kids today, that strength. You are not a nigger, you are a niggas. Egyptian king, ruler, warrior. And that is what that book is loosely based on. It's an autobiography of my life, but the principal participants in this book is myself and the niggas king. And so it's an autobiography / spoken word book. So I'm telling you from day one how I survived, how I made it, how I got over. You know, sometimes my soul sit back and wonder, Lord, how I made it over. But you know what? If you read this book, I think it'll really help you see. Now, I tell people now, if you're not 16 and over, don't read this book. Because I had to write this book the way I lived this book. I couldn't sugarcoat it and make it a classic that maybe one day will be on the bestseller list by using beautiful words. I used the words that I used when I grew up, as I was coming up, the words I heard, the words I lived every day. And if some of these chapters in this book, maybe poems or writings in this book is offensive, it is not meant to be. It is meant to show you my progression from that thug, that no good guy, that nigga, to niggas. Once again, I thank the Sisters Uptown Book Club for having me, showing myself a Natty May Productions. And it's a wonderful day, and I so thank you. And I hope that maybe you can pass the word around, put this book in your window, let everybody see the Nigga Chronicles. The colors always get them, red, black, and green. Right on, black power, all that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Thank you so much.
Southwest Georgia, and there was no depiction of folk who looked like me. During the time that I grew up, being dark was not popular, and so I grew up feeling invisible. No depiction of me, didn't know why, what, and the elders were not apt to explain or to bring the vital information that we needed as children so that we can identify with self. And so I came to New York City when I was about 17 years old. And Harlem was then the place to be. When folk were proud and dressed. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful era. And so it gave me the strength and the fortitude and to just see us, excel was an inspiration for me. So I moved up to Washington Heights some years ago, and I noticed that there was no bookstores in this area from west to east, from this part that they now call Washington Heights all the way down to 125th Street.